Hello, Peepsies! Yes, I'm recording another video. Sue me. No, please don't. I don't have anything for you. Anyway, just continuing on the busy life. It's probably going to stay for the rest of my life. I've got coffee because I tried recording this once before and I did nothing but yawn throughout the whole thing, which I did not like. So, yeah, try not to do that anymore. This is my first cup of coffee. So that's probably why I ended up yawning throughout the whole first thing. But so, yeah, busy life. Nothing but cleaning, baseball, softball. That's pretty much it. Last week was kind of a washout. My daughter's first game was canceled and rescheduled for Friday. She did very good at her game on Friday. So there was that. And then Thursday, my son had a short practice. We thought it was going to get canceled because at the time we knew we were supposed to get storms. We did get storms. But we couldn't figure out what time they were coming. At first it was during practice time, then it got moved to later, then it got moved to earlier, then it got moved to later again. Weather Channel. Just didn't know what to think of it. But the time came that we were able to catch a ride with my brother, so we didn't have to walk all the way to the park. And at that time, the storms weren't supposed to get there at 8 o'clock, or until 8 o'clock, which was plenty of time to have practice and get home. So I'm like, we're going for it, because it was also my son's last practice, or last official practice, because they don't want to tire out the kids because they're so young. So because it was his last practice, I really wanted him to go. So we got to the park. Like 5-10 minutes later, I get a text from his coach saying that they're going to have a short practice from 5 to 5:30 because the storms are now supposed to get there at 5:45. So I was like, well, crap, because we did have to walk home, and it's like a 20-30 minute walk for us. So yeah, I'm like, well, I guess we'll just, since they didn't know if it was coming early or late, I guess we'll just keep an eye on it, because for all we knew, it was going to change again. So, yeah. So we were playing at the park, waiting for his coach to get there, and the sky was getting darker, so I knew that the storm was going to get there before 8. But there was still some sunshine. It was just getting covered up more and more and more, and the clouds were getting darker and darker and darker. But 5 o'clock came around, and there was no more sun by 5 o'clock. So I looked at the weather map, and we still had some time. So I wasn't too worried. However, I was keeping a close eye on the weather map and the sky. Because I'm usually pretty good at being able to tell when it's gonna start raining or thundering or something like that. But I was also kind of in denial because I didn't want Liam to miss his practice. But we got there. Practice started at 5. From looking at the sky, I knew I was going to have to pull him early. So I'm like, that's not a big deal, especially when they put him up to bat. Like, he was like the second kid to bat. So he's going to get at least some practice out of it. So it was all right. So yeah, he got to have some practice, but after like 10-15 minutes, I was like, yeah, we gotta go. So I went up and waited because Liam had just hit the ball and he was running the bases. I was gonna let him finish running the bases. And then grab him and go. And as I'm walking up, I run into the coach's wife, And she's like, yeah, we're probably going to end up ending practice here in just a few minutes. I'm like, well, even if you do wait, I have to grab Liam because we've got a 20-minute walk ahead of us. And she's like, oh, yeah, grab him and go. So he finished running the bases, and she actually went out and grabbed him for me. So we hightailed it home. We didn't make it all the way home before it started raining. We made it about halfway home, and it started to rain. So needless to say, we got soaked. Luckily, most of the lightning and thunder held off until we were basically home. So that was good. That was the point. That was the part I was worried about, was being out in the storm with the kids. Rain is just water. So it'll dry. But yeah, we get almost home and I run into one of my old friends. Sorry, coffee. It's hell in my throat too. I've been having scratchy throat. But I ran into one of my friends from high school, her mom. They actually lived just on the other side of the viaduct from us. I don't think they knew that at the time because we got up to their house and they had come out to offer us a ride. And that was so sweet. I'm like, normally we would, but we just got to go on the other side of the viaduct and we're home. So, yeah, it's like the kids were like, yes, we want to ride. I'm like, there's really no point. We just live over there, guys. So she's just like, oh, okay, all right, if you're sure. I said, yeah, you're just going to be taking us next door, basically. So, so we just ran the rest of the way home because we were that close. Found out the hard way that running is getting a little easier for me, so all that walking is paying off. And I have lost weight, so I'm benefiting from all the running around that I'm having to do, so, which is nice. Makes it all worth it, or even more worth it, because the kids are happy, and that's the most important thing of all, so. But yeah, that's how Thursday went, and then his first game was supposed to be Saturday, as well as his pictures, and it was so cold and windy that they ended up canceling it. So yeah, he didn't end up having his first game, and he was pretty bummed about it. But we're back on schedule this week. We did have to cancel Moira's game for yesterday because of rain. So now we're going to have 2 games on Saturday, Liam's and Moira's. It's going to be a crazy day Saturday because it is also our 80s / my birthday party. So that's going to be a busy day too. And tomorrow's a really busy day as well because Moira has a game. Liam has his pictures and his practice. And he also has his graduation from preschool. I'm so gonna cry. Oh my god. I already want to cry. They made them little hats and everything. Oh, okay. No more of that. I'm going to cry. Oh my gosh. Alright. Sorry. Yeah. I can't believe it. My babies are growing up. So, busy times, but luckily Michael gets off early tomorrow, so I'm going to have a tag team, because otherwise something was going to have to be given up, and none of them can. Liam has to have his pictures. I guess he could have skipped out on the practice, but he has to have his pictures. We're buying his pictures. So, yeah. Moira has to go to her game. And he has to go to his graduation. And let's see, how does all this work out? Oh, Liam's pictures are at 5, his practice immediately following till 6, and Moira's game is at 5:45. So I'm going to end up missing part of her game because I have to go and grab Liam from practice. And we want to watch her game, and because she's in Pee-wee, so they're not doing it how the game's actually supposed to go. They just kind of go so the kids can all have fun. They don't keep score or anything. It's basically they play for an hour and then they're done. So her game will be done about 6:45, which is fine. But then we've got to hurry up and hightail it to Liam's school for his graduation at 7. So, luckily, Michael gets off at 5, so he will get home about 5:45. So, yeah. We've already made the decision that if they're going to make the game go further than 6:45, we're going to have to pull her because we can't miss Liam's graduation. As bad as I'm going to feel about pulling her from a game, this is his graduation. We can't miss that. So, yeah. busy day. Friday is maybe Moira practice. I don't actually know if she's having practice on Friday or not. But we'll wait and see when I talk to her coaches tomorrow. So, yeah, that's it for that. So we'll get into the books first. I've got books and a little bit of knitting. So I've been reading The Martian by Andy Weir still. I'm still only about halfway done. I am halfway done now. I've read a few pages in the last week. I haven't been in much of a reading mood. I've just been so tired and stressed and a little depressed. So, yeah, I haven't really wanted to do much of anything. Such is life, but I am still reading it. I did renew it, so I've got plenty of time to get it finished. I'm going to get this finished soon because I still need to watch the movie, and I'm not watching the movie until I finish this. And I need to get this read so I can get it returned, and I also need to watch the movie so I can get it returned to my mom because I'm sure there's other family members that want to watch the movie too. So, yeah, I need to get this done. So I need to prioritize that. I did go to the library. I took the kids. They like their library time as well. So I can't deny them that. Nor do I want to. But I had some self-restraint and I didn't I didn't borrow any more books that I need to read. I did, however, get a few knitting books because I rekindled that fire. So, one of them I have is Knits for Nerds, 30 Projects, Science Fiction, Comic Books, and Fantasies. This is Joan of Dark, aka Toni Carr. So, there's that. There are some patterns in here that I do want to make, but there are other ones where it's just like, I don't know, maybe not. But it's still pretty cool. I like the patterns in it. I do want to knit most of them, so there's that one. One of my favorite designers is Stephanie Dosen of Tiny Owl Knits. Love all of her patterns. There's some of them where they're not quite for me, but I love them all. They're all gorgeous, and she's just a gorgeous girl. Yeah. So I'm kind of obsessed with her, but it's okay. But I got her book, Woodland Knits, and this is just, I want to knit everything that is in this book. Like literally everything that is in this book. And the book is just gorgeous. They did a really good job of naturing up this book because Stephanie is such a nature nerd as well. Yeah, nature is her thing. She's actually more into nature than even I am. So, but yeah, so this is her book. I want to buy this book for myself just because I love this book. So I need to buy it for myself. That way, it'll be easier for me to knit the patterns out of it instead of having to print off patterns or write them down. So I like having physical copies, so oh well. I will eventually get it, just don't know when. The third and final book that I got is Knitting Wizardry, 27 Spellbinding Projects by Amy Clark Moore. And it's this. And after I borrowed it and brought it home and looked at it, I realized that I pretty much already have all of these patterns. There was this Harry Potter knitting magazine that had come out, and it was just all Harry Potter patterns in it. I've got the e-version of that, and this is basically that in book form. I think they added a couple of more patterns, but everything that was in that magazine is in here. So, yeah. I want to buy the book, though, because, again, I like physical copies, because then I can put a sticky note on it. I really hate it when that does that. Sorry. But, I can put sticky notes on the pattern so I can keep track of where I'm at or what I need to do and whatnot. And it's just a lot easier. And that's the only reason why I haven't knit anything out of that magazine yet. Is just because it would just be a pain for me. Because I would lose track of where I am, therefore mess up my projects, and I would be a very unhappy girl. So, last thing book-wise, that was it for the library books for me. I'm not going to show my kids stuff, but last week I had told you guys about how my Nook had died, and I didn't have any other e-reader. Well, I told my mom about it as well, because she's big into e-readers as well. She actually prefers e-readers, like e-books, to regular books. I'm the opposite, but I still like my e-books. But I think I made her sad because I didn't have an e-book anymore, or e-reader anymore. So she gave me her old one. Yes, this thing is huge. Yes, it's still a Nook. This is actually the... Let me turn that off. I can't remember what the actual name of it. I think it's just a Nook tablet. I think this is the Samsung one. I'm not 100% sure on that one. The Samsung one might be the newer version that she has. I can't remember though, but yeah, this is the one I've got now. I'm not used to the size because all of my other Nooks were the smaller ones. But because I have big purses, this still fits in my purse. That's all that matters. And I don't mind the size because it's actually it's the size of a book. Yeah, so I do like that. And it would actually probably be a lot easier to keep track of, like the pages on Goodreads and actually getting the right amount of pages. But yeah, she gave me this one, At first she was using this one and her new one because she would keep her newer one at home and she would take this one to work. But I guess she stopped doing that, and so this one's been sitting unloved. So now I'm going to give it some love. So yeah. So I have an ebook again, which is good because I had some really good books on there that I wanted to read. And I was going to be very, very sad if I had to read them off my phone. Yeah. So that's it book-wise. Knitting-wise, I've gotten a little bit done. I did get the square that I was working on last week done. It's Yoshi. Yoshi. So he's all done. I've only got 2 more squares to go. I'm actually halfway done with that one. Or at least one of them. Well, I guess I'll just show you. But, oh, goodness. I have this all tangled up because of after the first time I tried to record this. So, yeah. Here's I'm halfway done with this one. I could have finished it today, but I haven't knit for the last couple of days. Again, just tired and stressed. Didn't feel like it. Yeah. So, this one's going to be Boo when it's done. You know, the little ghosts from Mario. But, yeah. So, and this is actually one of the easier ones because there's not much to him. He's basically just kind of like a little circle with some eyes and a mouth. So there's not much to him. But he is almost done. I'm probably going to knit extra on it just so I can get caught up because I want to make sure that I get the last square done this month yet too. So I'm running out of time. I still have time, but I'd like to have had them done already, but yeah. So there's that. Got that halfway done. I've worked on my sock only a little bit. See? I've gotten I can't remember if the red was done last week or not, but definitely this purple I did over the week. And then the only reason this hasn't been getting as much love is because I started the heel, which that requires more brain power. So therefore, I haven't really been taking it to the softball practices and whatnot. Plus, we really haven't had many practices this last week because of rain. So, but that's why I took it to the game. But I was more focused on watching my daughter. So, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So, yeah, I did that. But that was basically it. As soon as I get the heel done, then there'll be more brainless knitting until I get to the toe. And then that sock will be done. And then I'll immediately cast on for the other one so I don't get that second sock syndrome. So, yeah. Plus, I actually really like knitting on socks because it's so mindless. And it's so small so you can basically take it with you anywhere. So, but yeah, that's all I've been doing besides softball, baseball, and house cleaning and working. So, yeah, I guess I will just end it there. And I am proud because I made it through this one without yawning. Yay! Coffee. The magicalness of coffee. I like my coffee. I will see you guys later. Bye!